6 reasons why I hated shopping on the marketplace. Number 1 is prices. You'll see a lot of unreasonable, crazy prices, especially for like beginner bikes like Ninja 400, 500, 650, CBR 500, and all of those. They're very popular because they're great machines. But when you get on the marketplace and you'll see all these bikes being listed for MSRPs, it is frustrating, man. It makes no sense. People overpay and get screwed over at the dealerships, and they want to recover all those funds by selling them for crazy markups. It's stupid. Just because you paid 8 grand for Ninja 500 doesn't mean it's worth it. So when you buy your new bike, you're gonna have to pay a little bit on markups, dealership fees, like dock fee, sales tax, shipping fee, and dealership fee. That's a substantial amount by itself. And when you add financing to equation, imagine paying for interest for 3 years on your loan, or 4 years. Yeah, that's not gonna be a small amount. Also, a lot of times people will overprice what they're selling, so they have a headroom with the price so they can lower it later. It's just how it is, because you get so many people lowballing you. Personally, I would much rather prefer for people to list their bikes for what they're worth, and either you sell it to someone or you don't. You don't like the price, that's fine. But adding an extra $700 to your price, that is annoying. Selling on the marketplace, it is just as frustrating, if not more, but that doesn't mean you should make it worse. So don't be delusional about what your bike is worth. And if you don't want to sell your bike on purpose, so you price it for high price, that's also understandable. But when you get a marketplace and most of the decent listings are super high, it is nuts. That was the only reason I decided to buy a new bike, because I didn't want to deal with all that. Number 2, this is sellers who do not reply. Like, why? Come on now. You're selling your bike and you're not replying. Like when I was shopping for a bike, I messaged a lot of bikes and only maybe like a third of those replied. A lot of times people do not take down their listings and don't respond. A lot of times people will get so many messages they just stop replying. But come on now, communicate with the buyers. It is frustrating. Be a good seller. And you gotta be careful with how you message too. If you ask too little, then you're considered to be a time waster. If you ask too much, you're even more of a time waster. So don't be that guy. If you're selling a bike on a marketplace, communicate with the buyers. Number 3, it's haggling. If you've noticed, I'm not a fan of it. I'd rather just get a straight up price for what something is worth. It feels good to get some price off and negotiate, and it feels like you're beating the market by getting a better deal. But when you have to do it with so many different sellers, because it doesn't always work out, I don't like doing that. It's emotionally exhausting for me. But that's not much better at the dealerships. These problems are also at the dealerships too. A lot of times dealers are also smoking something. Number 4, it's shady sellers. You'll see a lot of listings that don't look complete or have very little information, and it's for a reason. They're hiding something. A lot of times it'll be a stolen stuff, or it will be a scammer trying to get something out of you, and they will always put like no information in description. You have to keep asking and asking for very detailed questions, which you'll get vague answers on, and you'll know that something's off. Don't stop talking to those people. Number 5, that is maintenance. When you're buying a used bike from a marketplace, a lot of times it requires a lot of maintenance to get it on the road safely. Like, it will have valve clearance due, it will have new tires due, it will have chain and sprocket due, it will you'll need to change fluids and make sure the brakes are good. And that's a lot of extra expense you're gonna have to add on your used bike. To a point that you're not really saving much money by getting a used one. Number 6, just the fact that you do not know what you're getting. People lie. People want to sell their own problem bikes and get rid of them. You don't know the history of the bike. You don't know if seller actually did all the required maintenance. You don't know if there is an issue with that bike. Even if someone's really nice, you don't know if they're lying to you in your face. So you gotta be very diligent with an inspection and asking questions. And what if you buy a lemon? Then you're screwed. You just got all this paperweight. So what do you do with that? You sell it too. You find some other sucker who will take it from you. That was my top 6 reason why shopping for a used bike on Marketplace sucks. Because you gotta deal with people, and people are a lot of times dishonest, weird, or trying to rip you off. I'm not saying there are no good sellers on the Marketplace, but there's too many bad ones. Alright guys, take care.